there's always this confusion that I might be an assistant or an intern, and I always have to show my badge to prove that I'm really an MEP.
Vote is open.
I'm the youngest German. I actually was 15. It was a time where the government in my region decided to shorten the time you go to school. And I thought, this is a decision that affects young people most. Why weren't we asked? And then I decided to join a party to get involved in politics, to change the politics that affect younger generations.
It starts like a joke, if you like. I was sitting with a French and an Italian friend, and we were quite shocked by the rise of right-wing populists all across Europe, and we decided that we would like to found a European party. So the idea was to basically say, we only have national parties so far, how about we build one that is from the beginning a European party? And that's how we founded Łączy. Then 2 years later we ran for the European elections in 2019.
I went into politics when I was like 18 as a student, and I was just joining my youth organization of the party, and I was just doing it as a hobby, but I like working in politics. I'm working in the European Parliament in the Committee on Budgets and also on the Interior Committee, so I'm dealing especially with civil liberties and the rule of law.
Was wir auf unserem Handy haben, was wir uns da anschauen, welche Daten wir haben, welche privaten Nachrichten wir schreiben, das sind ganz, ganz persönliche Daten. Und was für ein gruseliger Gedanke ist es, wenn dieses Handy durch eine Space-Software wie Pegasus gehackt ist.
I work on digitization and I also work on asylum and migration to attract more talent to Europe.
This bill actually allows permanent residents to be able to work all across the European Union.
I'm working on climate justice in the Environment Committee. I have to prove myself more often. I have to show that I'm well prepared, that I know the stuff I'm talking about. There's always this confusion that I might be an assistant or an intern.
I know that Delara, for example, she always has to show her badge. That's not happening to me. I don't know why. Maybe it's also a little bit about young politician and young female politicians. I think the main challenge for young people is to get taken seriously.
Although we are elected with the same mandate like every other also older MEPs, so we often have to prove more ourselves. But I think that's an experience that young professionals make in politics, but also in the economy.
As a young MEP, it's easier to connect with young people, use new social media.
I think when you come here first, you realize that maybe some things are not as if you want them. Yeah? So for example, at the moment our debates are often a bit boring. This is what I would really like, to get some speed in the house, to get some energy, to really make it visible what kind of really cool work is being done here. So I think as a young MEP, you have huge chances if you don't lose this fresh view of what could be possible. With the young MEPs from the different groups, so Social Democrats, the Conservatives, the Liberals and the Greens, we definitely hang out, yeah, because it's kind of cool to compare experiences. We also have the same aim of making this house really strong. I think there's a lot to discuss, and obviously it's also fun to just have some sparring partners from different perspectives as well.
We often not agree when it comes to how to solve problems, but I think we share a similar approach on how to do politics. We are the generation that grew up in a united Europe. For us, the European integration is a process that is kind of normal, and we want to secure it, of course, but we also want Europe to become ready for the future. So I think this looking in front and not looking back is something that unites us very much as young MEPs.
Generally, we work together in reforming also this parliament, making it more open, making it more transparent, improving the debating culture in the European Parliament. And of course we hang out together sometimes in Strasbourg because it's nice to also share your experience as a young member. Also, it's just fun.
One thing that's clear is that if you only have old people making legislation, they won't have to deal so much with the effects because they are just gonna be out of this world faster than the younger ones. So I think it's important to also bring these young perspectives in, and that's why I would encourage young people to definitely go into politics. I think young people should be here in this house. If you bring your 10 best friends and join any local chapter of any party, it's very likely that you're the majority of active people there.
We have a lot of youth organizations that are really part of the political process, that demand also space, especially as we saw the last European elections. There was a big movement of young people demanding climate change, the Fridays for Future movement. So I think there is a political culture that is a little bit more open, maybe.
The culture is changing in Germany too, that you have more young people in the parliament because Europe is our future, and so young people we need more young people to get active. And I think also in the German parliament there are now more younger members.
We have to always look at the electoral systems very carefully. In Germany, we vote via a list system nationally. So basically it's easier for parties to say, look, we will have X% of old people, then maybe some middle age, and then some younger people, or you will have more diversity more easily. Whereas, for example, in Poland, it's the case that you have more voting districts, which will mean that the senior old people in this district will probably get that seat.
And we're talking about young, and I'm 32 years old. When I talk to a school class or students, they already don't, they don't take me as one of theirs anymore. So I think we always have to look for different perspectives, and I think age is the only thing. You get older by doing nothing.
Wir rufen die Mitgliedstaaten, die Kommission auf, hier endlich zu handeln.